this year. Let's go. I still give big bitch head nigga. Let's go. Oh, period. Uh, period. Hello, hello. And hello, everyone. Hi, guys. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a message for the collective. Collective messages are timeless. So when you see them is when you're meant to hear them. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell so you can get alerts when my videos are posted. If you're new to my platform, welcome. Thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome, and more welcome. So we're going to start off with Surah Al-Fatiha. And I'm going to tell you about a dream that I had last night. So I was somewhere with some people. It looked like the beach, right? And I'm going to tell you all this in so that way, we can see whatever their logistics say. But anyway, it seemed like I was at the beach. And as we were walking along the beach, it was ice. Like, and it was so close to the stores. Like, if you went inside the store, um, it seemed like the ice was up to the step of the businesses, which was also kind of strange because we had on shorts and things of that nature. So it was giving a vibe of like it was cold, but also not. It was the strangest thing. But also there was a lot of people just there that seemed like they was just walking around, chilling, and nobody was really caring that, this is what was happening. So it was very strange to me because I can remember it. And when I can normally remember dreams and things of that nature, that means that, it's very important to whatever is happening. So I'm gonna just say time change because, but also it could be the weather changes because as of now, it's May. And normally it would be starting to be, warm and things of that nature, but it's giving a weird vibe right now because it seems warm, but then it's not. So do with that information what you will, and we'll get into it. But for some reason, I could also remember a car, like us pulling up there. And again, it didn't seem like bad because it was a lot of people that was there, which was also kind of strange because what was everybody doing there? It was almost like it was just like a normal turn of events, but there was literal ice floating in the water. So that maybe that's the thing about like when the seasons change, because then I can hear Janet Jackson, that song, seasons change, people change, I'll sacrifice tomorrow just to have you here today, just to have you here today. So people may change and it could be growth and transition. Take it how it resonates, but also, with that being said, it's giving me the vibe like, somebody saying they change or you changing and things aren't what they used to be, but two things can be true at the same damn time. Like, it could be off, but it could be right. You know what I mean? So take it how it resonates because as of now, we just gonna do what we need to do. I gotta change y'all title because I just put it in just to show it. Majestic Grace, wealthiest rising. Love you. Thank you for being here. Bismillah, blessings, blessings, blessings. All right, so we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna do Surah Al-Fatiha first. I also have affirmations that I put. It's on the wall on YouTube. So if you haven't seen them, they're there. Same ones I'm about to use right now. And I also put them on my Facebook. So just so y'all know, the affirmations that I'm about to give y'all are actively already posted because in my mind, I feel like we should be talking to ourselves in a good way, granting ourselves grace. And when we give ourselves grace, majestic grace, um, That means that things can happen throughout the day and we may feel whatever we feel or however we feel. People may, be trying it, um, or not. But either way, when we speak well into ourselves, I feel like it's a blessing because we got, maybe the whole entire world against us, but as long as God be for us, who could be against us? Just because they don't have good taste and know that, we is it, um, not our fault. Anyway, I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why I said that too. So, in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful, all praises for Allah, Lord of all worlds, the most compassionate, most merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Guide us along the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, and not those who you are displeased with, or those who are astray. Now, Ana ata alam alugata Arabiya. I'm learning the Arabic language. So Allah, in case anybody doesn't know, is a translation of an Arabic word, the one God, right? Look it up. And I don't know why I'm explaining that again, but clearly there's new people could potentially be here. But let's not be ignorant and not know that other people speak a different language and it's just not what they would have you to believe. We don't have no arguments or beef with nobody else around here. All right. You said you love my right as I was pouring coffee. Period. Girl, I didn't even use I've been addicted to this mushroom coffee. And I don't want to say addicted. I'm just saying that I'm trying to change my habits, right? And so, but then listen, I like coffee. So yesterday I was outside, y'all, and there is dust balls of allergy, like what is that, pollen? Like it looks smoky. But it's like random puffs. It's weird. Anyway, let me do Psalms 91. And we are going to go into Psalms 91. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and report. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say the Lord is my refuge and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for He acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him with long life. I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. I mean, now, if you're new here, welcome again, and thanks for being here. I like to use everything that we have at our disposal. I'm not a whole religious person. I'm more of a spiritual person. But as we all know, all of these religions are basically collective environment of everything that belonged to us 200-300 billions of years ago, thousand or billions. Take a how it resonates, because as much stuff as I keep finding out, like even that time period could potentially be off because people be doing stuff and trying to confuse the narrative. Okay. Yes, I need the rise in my life, and period, honey. And it's actually really good. I put honey in it, and then I got to this other thing. I stopped using sugar, regular sugar, granulated sugar, and started using sugar cane. Mind you, I've been looking at a lot of stuff when I've been going to the grocery store these days, because as of now I'm starting to kind of watch what I'm eating and things of that nature. And if I ain't gonna stop eating, I at least need to watch what I'm eating. So little changes. And also I've been doing something else that I feel like, and I've been doing it for a little while now, and I feel like it's actually helping. So for the most part, it's helping me. And some days I forget, and some days I don't, and some days I get it right, and some days I don't. But I'm actively definitely trying. This morning, I think I got it right, except for I haven't drank my water yet. So anyway, what I have actually changed, and sometimes I don't like, saying stuff because then for some reason it seems like it throws a monkey wrench into the thing. But anyway, it don't even matter. Um, so when I've been waking up in the morning, what I have been doing, I got this little chair, inversion chair, and I put it in between the threshold of my bathroom. So like when I wake up, the first thing you gotta do is go to the bathroom. And so it's always off camera, so nobody even knows I've been doing this. But um, cause should be off camera sometimes. Anyway, cause my camera when I be doing my sleep streams is right beside my bed. And I need to put my blankets on my bed because I took my sheets off my bed 2 days ago, washed them, and they ain't on there yet. So if you was watching my sleep stream and you was wondering why I don't got no sheets on my bed, mind your business. They're in the dryer. Anyway, I just went laid on top of it, but I got blankets and shit that I'll be using anyway. So, sidetrack. Anyway, I have an inversion chair and I put it in between the threshold of the bathroom and my room so that way I don't forget. So when I wake up in the morning, I try to go flip myself upside down first, let all the blood rush to the top of my head. Why? Because there's something that's happening in this universe, and I've been feeling it for a while, and I just haven't said nothing. But apparently we're talking about it today. Um, like it's like gravity trying to pull you down. That's what it feels like to me. And so in my mind, it is. Let me undo whatever it is they're doing. Okay, so first thing I do is I flip upside down. Mind you, I'm noticing that I'm getting better at it because um when I could only do it for a short period of time because it felt like my eyeballs was about to pop from the beginning because it like builds a lot of pressure right here, but now I'm actively doing it longer and being able to flex and do whatever I need to do. And then go to the bathroom, get rid of, whatever it is that's in there, wastefulness, da 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 da. And then I've been trying to actively make sure I do a clove in the morning. So that's the other thing. So when I come downstairs after I use the bathroom, I normally bring the camera down here, leave it in here so then that way I can, go take a shower in my room and everything else because I'll be forgetting that this camera be running and I'll be butt naked trying to walk from this place to that place. And then I remember, oh shit, the camera right here, so I can't do that. Anyway, so I started, trying to do a little pattern. I take the camera, bring it down here, and it still be streaming. So they probably be wondering why I ain't here, but it's streaming. Well, because my ass gotta, take a shower. And so do that. So then I go to my kitchen, pop me a clove. Now y'all have to look up the benefits of clove, but clove is a very amazing thing for many different reasons. So I do that, and if you look up the reason why, um, if you take it the first thing and without anything else, then it's very, very beneficial to your body. Anyway, the other part is making sure that I drink water, warm water. And some people, sometimes I heat it up, sometimes I don't. I just, grab a bottle of water. I keep bottles of warm water around. Try to drink that. This morning, I don't know what I did with my water, and I think I had it, but I could have not had it. Anyway, long story short, then if I can, I try to heat up some water before I do anything else. So that's been my regimen, and I actually actively it's been working. And then, like I said, trying to change what I've been ingesting. So sugar may not be the best for you, but cane sugar is better for you than granulated sugar. Mushroom coffee, better. And then if y'all haven't seen the coffees, I don't know if y'all been looking at that, but there was a lot of stuff that was they just found out about some of the coffees that they had. And I love coffee and I love tea. And that's been helping me get a lot more water also. So you know, small changes, small habits. I went to the store the other day and I was gonna make steak and rice and dumplings. I ain't ate the steak yet. Literally, it's been in there because I'm trying to wean myself off of. I've been good, no sodas, y'all. So that was good. And then I needed a soda, so I didn't. And I should have chose something different. But anyway, I chose Tahitian treat, which I shouldn't have been drinking that either. But anyway, I've been off soda for 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden I needed a one of them kick, and I should have just made it myself, but I didn't. Okay, I have my little bottle down here that I'm gonna eventually start making it myself, mixer bottle. Um, but And then what I've been seeing is this. So you can actually blend it, put the fruit in here. I've been seeing people put whole oranges in here, blend it, and then I can make orange soda because I have the when I needed to be off soda the first time and I kind of failed, but I'm good. I know, right? Majestic Grace, thank you. Because I've been trying, right? And my son ended up getting me that soda stream because then I found out it was the carbonation that I really liked, which I should have, you know, figured that out beforehand. But anyway, long story short, I'll eventually start making it like, but small changes. So, a daily, because I'm not gonna let these people, just take me out easy. I'm not gonna do it. At some point in time, I have to be the keeper of my own, destiny. And just because I want to eat something, don't mean that I gotta eat it from them. Or I have to just take it lying down the shit that the stuff that they want. I like snacks, right? The other part is this: we can do easier snacks because I found out at one point in time. So if you like the deities and things of that nature, and I found out this out by Oshun. A lot of times we can do something natural and it really tastes good, and it'll take away the snack craving, right? So oranges. One of the things that Oshun likes is oranges, right? So when you do like the offering, and make sure it's something for you. And again, I ain't trying to tell nobody nothing, but this is how I learned it. So, only reason I'm telling y'all. Mind you, and that's also our culture. It's deities, the orishas, right? And if you have the spirit of any of them calling you, and again, I don't know why I'm telling y'all any of this because this is not what I was telling you because I got my affirmations and stuff already right here. I should have already been telling you, but apparently we talking. Um, so that kept calling. So we start looking up Ocean and things of that nature. She likes oranges, right? Oranges, cinnamon, and honey. That's yellow. But you have to make sure that you do it right because of the fact that if you don't, she'll reject it, right? And so then you go looking up some of the stuff, and back in the day, it's something that they used as snacks for kids as well. So, and mind you, it tastes delicious. That's the other thing. So that's how I learned that. And so I'm trying to do things that are better. And then if you actually look into dehydrating the stuff, it tastes a whole lot better. Don't get that to her though, but she ain't gonna like that. But for yourself, if you look into, like dehydrating things and this, that, and the third, it tastes a whole lot better. So I'm just making basic changes for me and that's it, that's all. Um so we're gonna change the title and then we're gonna go over here. Okay, because we was talking about this shift because like I said, my dream was it was cold outside. Let me tell y'all this. I'm gonna show y'all this and then it's a little long, but I feel like it was needed because for the most part, again, we talking about the truth here and we have to be mindful that if we're gonna be ready, if we want to hear the truth, then we have to hear the truth, even if it makes us mad. But I have a positive message for y'all after this, okay? So, here. On the issue of race. So, this is whoever this lady is. On the issue of race. She's a news anchor, a newscast. I don't know which station she's on. It says live something. MS something news. Anyway, but on the issue of race, on the treatment of African Americans specifically, even being terrible at what they're doing has still proven to be disastrous for our country. And it is, in part, the posturing and from the White House and the president. That is stuff that validates it. And I would also like to say, on that note, I might hop in back and forth because racism is costly, not just for the people that they're targeting, but for the people that are doing the targeting. Excites the worst bigots in the country, and that is consequential. But it's more than that, too. We are now about 16 months into what has been from day one a concerted and intense targeting of Black Americans, specifically by this president and by this administration. And that's not anything new. Everybody, this is how this person ran. This is how the country became divided. This is how we learned what other people felt about us. We already knew, but it became very blatantly apparent when this person got where they came.
On his first full day in office, he proclaims war on diversity efforts, not only in government, but in any institution in the country over which he can exert leverage, everything from schools and universities to law firms to private businesses of every stripe. He then immediately started firing some of the highest profile Black public officials in the whole U.S. government, seemingly.
He wouldn't be allowed to do it if it wasn't the feeling of others, because you have to be mindful. He's not alone in his behavior. He's not alone in the judgment, and he wouldn't be allowed to do it if that wasn't the feeling of people.
Regardless of any other thing about them. I mean, right away, we get the firing of the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Charles C.Q. Brown. We get the firing of the Librarian of Congress, Carla Hayden. And then it's Gwynne Wilcox from the National Labor Relations Board. And then it's Robert Primus, the chair of the Surface Transportation Board. And then it's Alvin Brown from the NTSB. And then it's Peggy Carr, the head of the National Center for Education Statistics. And then it's Willie Phillips from FERC, from the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. And then it's Lisa Cook from the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, and on and on and on. When Trump and his top political donor, Elon Musk, then started just lopping off huge swaths of the federal government to disastrous practical effect, the largest and most egregious cuts targeted federal agencies that employed a disproportionate number of Black employees. Reporter Erica Green wrote about this a few months ago for The Times, noting that nothing had moved backwards in the federal government for Black Americans this quickly or this far in over 100 years.
100 years, we have still been being targeted, and at least now it's blatantly in our face.
Since Woodrow Wilson came in 1912 and resegregated the federal workforce. Quote, Black employees were fired or demoted to lower level jobs, relegated to separate and inferior lunchrooms and other facilities, and accused of making white women feel unsafe. Those who remained were humiliated. A Black worker in the Postal Service was surrounded by screens, so white workers would not have to look at him. Another employee had a cage built around him to separate him from his white counterparts.
Mind you, but this is the thing. They have to feel, to make themselves feel better, they have to feel superior to someone, instead of allowing our group to just go and be great. They need that validation in their own hearts, which is also the other part of this is that's a them problem. It's something wrong with them.
Clerk in the Treasury Secretary's office was assigned to rewrite all correspondence to address Black employees by their first names.
Because that is supposed to be disgraceful, but guess what? I love my first name. Your name has power. They don't understand that it's the beginning. There's something mentally unstable or mentally corrupt. We can already see that, but it's weird how they think. Your name has power. Give me my respect. Put some respect on my name. That's my name. It's not embarrassing.
The way Trump addressed the Librarian of Congress, Carla Hayden, by her first name when he crowed publicly about firing her for no reason.
You can only threaten me with what I care about. My mother named me what my mother named me. That's my name. Again, there's something mentally disturbing here. And this is where I keep saying these people keep trying, everything is backwards. It's upside down. And it's weird because how could you think that embarrassing me by calling me my name, my first name, would be an issue?
In the year of our Lord 2025 and now 2026, this president and this administration is not just inheriting that history from the Wilson administration, it's furthering it in its own ways. Since 1965, there has been an executive order in effect. It was signed by Lyndon Johnson, 1965. Since 1965, all federal contractors have been banned by executive order from discriminating on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, or national origin.
It would only still be able to be passable if the people that did not benefit from it allowed it. Y'all, this man wouldn't have gotten as far as he is in this system without it being acceptable, even though people wanted to sweep it under the rug. What he did was bring it to the forefront. People felt comfortable because this is what they do. And Black people, you know how we thought of it. We rather know. It's something funny that's happening in their minds. Like, for some reason they think that they're embarrassing, or they're embarrassing us, or they're degrading us. We like to know who you are so we don't get it confused.
Trump rescinded that 1965 rule on his first full day in office.
Abby said, I'm more embarrassed of the fact that my last name came from a slave owner. You see what I'm saying?
Less than a month later, Trump announced another rule change. They rescinded Clause 52.222-21 of the Federal Acquisition Regulation, which doesn't sound like much, but I'll tell you what.
I ain't gonna lie, right? I love both of my last names because mine said, I'm a man. Like both my mom's and my maiden and my dad's. And I have Harmon. I have my dad's last name. And each one of them is man at the end. Like, so to me, it was a blessing. Like, you can't curse me either way. I love my first name and I also love my last name. But if you say my first name, say it right, or you're going to get corrected. So, you know,
Title of that
put some
is,
respect
it's
on my shit.
Prohibition of Segregated Facilities. That's what Trump rescinded less than 1 month into being back in the White House. That section reads, quote, the contractor agrees that it does not and will not maintain or provide for its employees any segregated facilities at any of its establishments, and that it does not and will not permit its employees to perform their services at any location under its control where segregated facilities are maintained.
So they're actively breaking the law. And I told you all the judges were corrupt. God told us that the judges were corrupt. God put and appointed a judge for the children of Israel, for the courts, for everything. That judge died, and from that point on, all the judges would be corrupt. God already told us this. Mind you, all of these people don't realize they're going to eventually have their ass handed to them anyway. But they do realize, and this is the reason why they keep trying it. They hope you don't realize it.
That anti-segregation clause has been in government contracts for decades. Donald Trump overtly reached out to rescind it, which means bluntly that the federal government no longer explicitly prohibits contractors from having segregated restaurants, waiting rooms, and drinking fountains. Make America great again, right? Recently fired and...
Little do y'all know, America is great. And this is the funny part, because although people are upset, like, at what he's doing, he wouldn't be allowed to do anything that God didn't allow him to do, right? And furthermore, we are glad to see it. This is the thing. Like, I know y'all don't get it messed up. We would love to be in a world, where people, actively thought evenly and had common sense. But if we can't do that, at least show us who don't, so we can avoid you like the plague.
Employees in the Department of Housing and Urban Development have started sounding the alarm that the Trump administration is no longer, just bluntly, no longer enforcing a federal law known as the Fair Housing Act. Fair Housing Act, another pillar of the civil rights movement and its achievements. Fair Housing Act dates to 1968. It says you can't refuse to rent to someone or refuse to sell a house to someone on account of their race or their color or religion or national origin or any other factor against which we're supposed to be protected from discrimination. According to current and former employees of the Department of Housing and Urban Development under Donald Trump, they have dropped.
So nobody should be mad in this system when we start saying that they don't care about us, they don't want us to have part of the system, so we need to be away from them. Like when we start actively using that and we have proof, like you can't force me to be in a system that don't care about me. And I keep saying that every time they do something, God already got something in the mix because again, I'm gonna tell y'all something when this is all done. Because we gotta have, the truth and then what the real truth is also on top of it. Because I know it looks one way, but mind you, it's always a blessing in disguise. They be hanging themselves the same way they be trying to hang us.
Enforcement of the Federal Housing Act. In Trump's first year back in office, Black unemployment spiked in this country from 6.2% all the way up to 7.5%, making it the highest of all racial groups.
Because they want us to have to be pitied and needed in this system. Y'all don't realize, he don't realize what he's doing. Like he thinks that, okay, well, we're going to force them into something. We are fucking resilient. We took fucking pig intestines and turned it into chitlins, and now y'all bitches is eating it like a delicacy. So you put all of these people out of work, and then what you're not going to realize is, oh, we going to figure out a way to make a way. And then after we figure out that way to make a way, we'll never have to go into your system ever again. It's the same way that they thought that, oh, by taking away the farmers, da 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 da, and then y'all realize that y'all hadn't gave us shit anyway. This is the history of what we have already been dealing with for 100 and whatever years, 500 years a slave. But mind you, when them tables turn, baby doll, and they always do.
Under Joe Biden, Black unemployment had been at a record low of 4.8%, spiking now under Donald Trump. The Trump administration, generally speaking, is bad at its work. It is bad at what it sets.
Abby says always.
It's mine too.
She said it's bad at what it puts his mind to. Y'all don't realize he actually good at it. He only is making us stronger. When we actively start to bind together, he could be the reason why the copper colored people, God's, blessing, he could be the thing that sets it off. Because we already knew, but they've been playing in our face for a very, very long time, trying to act like we have been integrated into to society. And we kept saying, no, we not, no, we not, no, we not, no, we not, no, we not. And again, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. And so when everybody now starts to see that what he did created the biggest shift in the world, and us always the people, oh, y'all are always complaining. Well, you will too eventually. And then that day came because y'all said, oh, well, we're not mad enough. Well, we've been trying to tell you. We've been trying to tell you. But the other part is this: you won't now have to say that, oh, this person is the good guy, they're the friend, because their skin color, they tolerated you. Y'all are now showing us exactly who you are, and that's great for us. You're not going to be able to slide on through because it benefited you for this system to keep us down. It benefited you for you to keep doing it. Like literally, we're actively making note. The same way these people think that, oh, we can study them. Y'all ain't got no new moves either. Y'all ain't got no new moves. But look how resilient we have been. Every time y'all do the same fuckery, we come up with something else better to do. Salt and pepper, seasoning, saison, add little herbs to it. Like even now in this system, the only people that's been crying is the white people that's been benefiting from it. The black people already knew. So this administration ain't doing nothing but make, like, he's getting ready to cause what's getting ready to actively happen. The thing that they said that they were afraid of us for, he's causing it. Because black people, when we build this time.
Place. But Black Americans, African Americans, have been targeted by this administration in a concerted way.
Good.
That has nevertheless been devastating, even though the Trump administration isn't good at anything they set their mind to.
They're great at it.
And that was all before the conservative majority on the U.S. Supreme Court, including all of Trump's appointees, voted to effectively end the Voting Rights Act a few days ago. As soon as the court said they would take up that case, people started mapping the worst case scenario for what Trump...
And it's going to be funny when we all decide that we don't want to play in their system anymore, and it don't matter because my vote don't matter anyway. So now we need to do our own. And guess what? When you start rallying the people together in a way that makes them actively look and pay attention, they're going to realize the numbers are different. I told you one of the biggest illusions that they have ever done is time and space. They made Africa smaller and their states and things bigger. They try to make us feel smaller and them feel superior. I told you, we clearly got to be God in their mind, because ain't no damn way you every day actively try to figure out what to do to a person to try to hurt them in their community. We clearly got to be God to y'all. Because ain't nobody thinking about you. When they said, let's segregate, we said, okay, fine, fuck it, good. You go over there, we go over here. And then guess what they said? Oh, no, we can't have the coloreds congregating too much. But you just asked for that. Don't you want to live in a state, in a city where you don't have to see a colored nothing? Tell us where we going. Matter of fact, you take this and we take this, and then y'all still wasn't happy. Y'all are just not a happy group. It don't matter what nobody gives you. We can give you all the money in the world. We can give you all the time in the world. We can give you all, you're never going to be happy. And God now sees it as well. Let's segregate. That wasn't even your issue. We are never going to be your issue. You are always going to be your biggest issue. And until you figure that out, you're always going to be your biggest issue.
And the Republicans would do, particularly in the South, if the court gutted the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the crowning achievement of the civil rights movement. And the before and after looks like the snapback after the end of Reconstruction, after the Civil War. I mean, look at the state of Louisiana there. A third of the population of Louisiana is Black.
Something about Louisiana is very, very important. And little do y'all know, because it seemed like they fight over Louisiana. They've been fighting over Louisiana for a very, very, very long time. What is in Louisiana, or what is tied to Louisiana, that is giving them, such a sleepless night? Because y'all, it's just not that we want to hold specific Louisiana people down. There's something bigger than what they're saying.
Louisiana's Republican governor canceled congressional elections that are already underway in that state to rush through new maps that will presumably make sure that even though 1/3 of the population of that state is Black, there will be no Black representation in Congress for Louisiana at all. South Carolina, 1/4 of the population is Black. They have one majority-minority district represented by an African-American Democrat, Jim Clyburn. They are going to try to get rid of that one Black district so that South Carolina is all white, all Republican in representation, while 1/4 of the people who live in that state are Black. In Tennessee, 1 in 6 residents is Black. Republicans now want to make sure all 9 congressional seats in Tennessee are white.
What is in Tennessee? Tennessee keeps coming up.
All 9 of them. They want it to be 9-0, white and Republican. And 1 in 6 people in that state is Black. In her dissent from the majority ruling, Justice Helena Kagan said it will likely cause the largest reduction to minority representation since the end of Reconstruction. She probably didn't need to.
Can I ask y'all a question? Like, why is it that the people don't even hear what they're saying as well? The majority of people that live there is this. That means you outnumber them.
To use the word likely there. The war on Black Americans that is being waged by this president.
War, didn't I tell y'all? They literally are passive aggressive. And I keep trying to tell y'all that. Like, it's like they'll say it is, what y'all be calling it when they move into gentrification? Like, that is an act of war on the Black people. And I keep trying to tell y'all that. It is like a secret, like they know it. Because when we come in there, it's like taking over. But what do you call it? It's conquering. It's a secret conquering. And so it happens on a small level, but y'all better start realizing that these people are at fucking war with us. And I'm telling y'all worried about what's happening over in another country. The war is right here. These people have already waged war on us, and they've been doing it for a very, very long time. And at this point, they already see that if you start to think in any form or fashion,
And this Republican Party is one of the only things they have put their mind to in this past year that they've actually done.
She said the only thing that they put their mind to. She white and she saying it. The only thing they put their mind to. Every day they wake up and try to figure out how to fuck with a Black person or how to get involved in Black people's business. And we're not even thinking of them. Ain't nobody out here trying to fight these people, but for some reason, every day they wake up and they want to fight us. You already have the majority of everything. We ain't even said nothing. That's the other part. And so you're trying to force us to say something. And then when we do,
Pretty well at.
Like, this is one of the things. Learn to leave people alone. Like, for real, learn to leave people alone when they saying, I don't want no beef with you. I just want to be peaceful. I just want to be happy. I just want to, live in a world where, I could have my free will. Learn to leave people alone, because that's one of the things and a lot of y'all be doing that. Y'all done seen all these videos out here, and it's always somebody actively minding their business. It don't even matter who it is. And then all of a sudden you'll see a Kate or a Jimmy or a da-da-da-da-da coming along to be in somebody else's business. You came all the way from Timbuktu to drive your ass down here in some property and some business that's not yours. And then you get, your ass handed to you. And you're laying on the side of the road bleeding, and now you're saying, oh, they was a savage. Bitch, you walked all the way down here to be in business that was never yours. And then you got your ass beat. And now I'm the problem. Y'all keep doing the same exact thing. And these days, ain't nobody playing with you. People are tired of y'all in a big way. Because it's like y'all just are never going to be happy. No matter how much we give y'all are never going to be happy. And at some point in time, you're going to have to realize personal space, personal growth, free will is a real thing. You don't get to just try to snatch anything and everything. Like, y'all be literally trying to break somebody's spirit. We never going to give y'all that. God said we were going to be blessed forever. From now till then and after that. Like, leave us alone. Go find you something safe to do, please and thank you. Stop playing with people.
Comprehensive attack on Black public officials and Black public power. A comprehensive attack on Black public officials in the federal government.
And the funny part is that's something that y'all need. Y'all need to feel powerful. Because for some reason, the minute we had melanin in our skin, it made you feel less than. Because you didn't have any. And so you have to feel powerful. Y'all got little man syndrome. Y'all gotta go fuck with somebody because you have little man syndrome. And that's a real thing. You have to feel powerful. Like, we already know we are. It's a difference when you know you're powerful and when you have to feel powerful. Like, we ain't checking with y'all. That's the strangest thing. You have to assert your power over people.
Representatives in Congress, and now all around the country, where everywhere Republicans are in charge, they are scrambling to make sure that Black public officials can no longer hold office.
Mind you, y'all are making that choice. And again, thank you for showing us who you are. We are not mad at you for doing it. You're showing us who you are. That's that thing when God says separating the wheat from the tare, because now you can't act like a good person. So good.
We're going to talk tonight about the pushback against that and the strategies to make them pay for it, both in Louisiana, which is ground zero here, and around the country. We're going to talk tonight about some surprising pushback from churches and the clergy. We're going to talk tonight about a blistering takedown of Trump and the administration in federal court in Washington in a most unexpected case.
They're going to be the undoing of themselves, because just because you can do something don't mean that you should. Waking up and being a good person, you should just know how to do that anyway. And again, it's not everybody. And this is the thing. When people get mad when they hear stuff like this, oh, was she saying da 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 da? No, I wouldn't have it to say if it wasn't being done. I'm not against anybody. But it's actively being shown to us that people are against us. And you can't be mad at somebody having a conversation when it clearly is existing. Y'all will try to say, oh, well, this person's being done. No, I'm just having a conversation about what's being done. And if that feels, harmful to you or feels uncomfortable, then you need to take a look in the mirror, because guess what that means? You've been benefiting from a system and not caring that it has been hurting or trying to be harmful to other people. Free will is a thing. You done took enough. And then still you want to take more. Like, it got to be balanced in the world. And that's what God is calling for. Restoration. Balance in the world. It's unbalanced and imbalanced when a person wants to take. Pillage, 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 pillage. But mind you, this is the thing. A lot of people have already been saying, when they gave you religion, this, and the third, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Y'all, they didn't make it hard for you to see who the enemy is. They've been telling you the whole entire time. You just ain't been acknowledging it. This is one of those things where God tell you something and then you actively act like you don't hear. Kill, steal, and destroy has a face. It's them.
But big picture here, we are in the middle of something really radical in this country. Not just to get rid of our constitutional republic, to replace our form of government with something else, but to get rid of the multiracial democracy that our Constitution is supposed to protect. It is a war on Black America. The fight to save it is looking like it's going to be the fight of all of our lives.
And it is. And mind you, that's what I'm telling you. Like, we don't care that you want to be that. Be that. Good. Be proud of your race. Be proud of where you came from. Be proud. But actively trying to suppress somebody else's spirit is against the rules, especially when the people are actively saying you're not authorized. You've never been authorized. And we're actively voicing it. So it's okay for you to be that. Do it, don't be trying to suppress me. So just so y'all know the beautiful side of that, the flip side of that, because there's always a silver lining in something. Imagine somebody trying to suppress you so bad that they teach you how to live without them. Sit with that for a minute. Because that's all they've been doing this whole entire time. And this is when collectively, and I want to say Black people, but even people who are choosing to choose us, in spite of, looking bad in front of their family, being talked about, being, still pushed to our side. Like, we're very welcoming. We're very loving. We're very giving people. You can tell that when people tell them, their kids, to go look for a Black person. Like, they not telling y'all to go look for no white people. Like, the white people tell their kids to go look for a Black person. They never tell their kids to go look for another white person, because they know the evil that's in them. And if we get to change the world at this moment in time, y'all, this is the best time to be alive, to be able to see it, to be able to transition. We're at the threshold and the precipice of something. But mind you, the fact that we have been suppressed so long is what's making us rise up, be better. And I love that for us. I am not here to fit in. I'm here to see clearly, move wisely, and live truthfully. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. I trust what I feel, but I also question what I'm taught. My awareness is my protection because I can see, I can comprehend. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding all go hand in hand. Without one, without them all, without the collective, together we stand, divided we fall. I release the need to be liked and choose to be aligned instead. I release the need to be liked and choose to be aligned instead. Because the truth is the truth. And we're gonna have to stand on the truth. Be thankful that people show you who they are. And yeah, we can feel some type of way because damn, like, you trying to suppress me, but thank you for showing me. Thank you for me being allowed to, see you for who you are. I'm not trying to change you, but I would like to be aware of who you are in this system. I would like to be aware of who I need to stay away from because you're not for me and you don't have to be for me and I don't have to be for you. And we can live, peacefully without you trying to, overstep my boundaries or try to suppress me. But some people just have to, try and do that. And that's sad for them. I don't chase validation. I build value within myself because you can't tell me who I am. Never let nobody tell you who you are. Somebody may not see value in you. It's not meant for them to. Once God gave you that spark and you came here, you were already chosen. Who the hell are they? God saw value in you for you to be here. This moment in time, God chose you to be here at this moment in time. You were already chosen. Why do you feel the need to have somebody in society that ain't got a heaven or a hell to put you in? God already chose you. And if God be for you, who could be against you? These people will try to come against you and God will kill them. When God chose you, that was all you needed. So wake up and every day choose yourself, no matter what's happening. Because this too shall pass. And sometimes things have to happen. When they tell you the weapon may form, but it shall not prosper. Sometimes things have to happen. You may be the thing that God put into this system to change the world. And meanwhile, you over here saying, oh, it's just, I'm this little person from da 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 da. You may not even realize that God put you on this earth to change the world. Your voice matters. Don't let nobody tell you who you are. Know who you are. Know what you are. You were chosen for a moment in time for this. I recognize patterns, break cycles, and move differently than before. This is why they can't get you caught up in the snares of the enemy or the devil because of the fact that every time they try to, take value away from you, every time they try to belittle you, every time they try to corner you, guess what? You bob and weave. You don't see what they see. And that's a blessing for you. All they see is hate, envy, and despise. Mind you, you see value in knowing that that's what they think. Because good. I don't think about me the way you think about me. I don't see me the way you see me. And I don't have to. My energy is currency. I spend it with intention and not allowing nobody to take energy from you. Like, you don't have to focus on that. Yeah, we see it. Good. Thank you for, showing us. But I don't have to focus on that. What I can focus on is the fact that in them taking, it's allowing us to build a community. It's allowing us to be able to see that, okay, well, this is all we got again. How can we make money without, in their system? How can we do the things that we need to do? Or what is the value? Because sometimes it is just us seeing that and then we trading back and forth with each other. Because I'm not going to give that system my energy. I'm going to give the new system my energy. And they don't have to be a part of that because they don't want to. They want it to be, they wanted us to have FOMO. Why would we have FOMO of a system that never cared about us? That's the strangest thing for a person to even think. Like, to be that one-sided in the brain and not realize, like, y'all didn't care about us any fucking way. Y'all don't even care about your own people. And if y'all don't know that, the people that even think that they could even be on their side, so guess what? When they're poisoning the air, they're poisoning all of us. When they're poisoning the seas and the ocean, they're poisoning all of us. When they're taking away shit, they're taking it away from everybody. This is where one of the biggest things that actively happened in this society right now, because when they started taking shit from the farmers and they thought that the black farmers, it would be, it would benefit or it would damage them, and all you saw was the white people getting online. We're losing this because they done sent the people outside of the country and this, that, and third, da 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 da. Black people didn't have that no way. All the people that's in, Virginia, North Carolina, wherever, the Appalachian people that, was gun ho, them people still ain't recovered. And now they seeing that they don't care about them. They was gun ho for these people. And now guess what they said? We were tricked. You were never tricked. Your morals and values were in question. And you showed your morals and values. It allowed us to see who you are. And so now, guess what? Now you're saying, oh, they tricked us, this, and the third. We still know you're not on our side, because the minute that it changes and it benefits you, you're going to be a flip flop. Maybe, or maybe a person actively changed and they realized, okay, well, it shouldn't be good for anybody for it to be this. What side they fit on? Because from where I'm standing, I wouldn't trust none of y'all. Because I deem to think that the minute they offer y'all another deal, y'all gonna be actively trying to put your foot on the black people's necks again. You're gonna be actively trying to be racist again, because this is how this started. They said, "Oh, you could be freely racist," and y'all said, "Howdy, thank you, good Lord, I can be racist." You use God and racist in the same sentence and didn't see where it was weird to suppress somebody else, but God is love. But meanwhile, because that's what it was, y'all was using the church and y'all was also using racism. And now your morals and values were in question and y'all failed. Failed to the tune of now it costs you everything that you had. Mind you, in a way where we actively could be upset to the tune of we ain't doing this, that, and that, but we still ain't even saying that. We ain't said nothing about attacking nobody. We ain't said nothing about going over and doing nothing to nobody. All we said was, please leave us alone. We'll move over here. Like, for as much stuff as y'all done, like it wouldn't even be, nobody could say nothing if the black people had decided to rise up and say, fuck it, fuck everybody. Mind you, we ain't never said that. We ain't not one time said that. We still be out here loving, caring, instead of third. It be fucking stories that you see on social media, and they'll be like, this black man and daughter got lost somewhere in the hood, and this is what happened. Like, it's a fucking rare occasion. That's always what we do. We'll beef with each other before we beef with somebody else, because we know that ain't nothing but problems and trouble. But y'all be acting like that's a rare sighting. This is what happened. Oh, they didn't get robbed in the hood. Well, why does it have to be the hood over there anyway? Because that's what y'all made it. Y'all decided that it was okay to take from, certain individuals, this, that, and the third. But anybody that has lost their job into this system, they ain't doing it but making us stronger. Anybody that can't get anything from this system, they're not doing anything but teaching us how to live without this system and to build a stronger community. And if y'all don't see that, then I don't know what to tell y'all, but y'all should see it. Because that's what happened every time. And then sooner or later, they'll figure out, oh shit, we fucked up. We ain't do nothing but make them stronger. Like, we are resilient people. And they ain't even figured that part out yet. Oh, if we do this to them, they're going to do this. They think, oh, they going to rise up against us. No, we're going to rise up together, and y'all do what y'all doing, because don't nobody want to argue with you. That's draining. It's draining in a system where all y'all do is just wake up and it's negative every day. It is a beautiful world out here. And instead of y'all loving a beautiful world, y'all try to figure out how to poison it, how to steal from it, how to pillage it, how to build more weapons. Oh, we got to go steal, because that's what's happening up there. That's exactly what the Appalachian people are talking about, that all of a sudden they found lithium somewhere in there. The people ain't built it back yet, but yet somehow they're up there mining. And now it's damaging the environment. But y'all was all gun ho for them. And now that you ain't got no drinking water, remember when what was it, Michigan didn't have drinking water and nobody cared? Guess who ain't got drinking water now? Mind you, it's also part of Revelations. It said the water gonna turn bitter. And at this point, we still gotta hold on to Psalms 91 because when you being a good person and your morals and values, it's not gonna come near you. And even if you die in this system, guess what? Thank God. It wasn't for you no way. So figure out how to help change it. I'm grounded in reality, but open to possibilities. I balance intuition with discernment. You have to pay attention. She said, "Yup, Flint, Michigan. It was Michigan, right? That didn't have water. Nobody cared. It's like anybody walking around right now. People do not give a damn that it's fucking. People wake up and buildings have collapsed because they bomb in this place and that place and this and the third. It's not. Nobody's gonna care until it's at their front door because then you figure out how to live differently. And like I said, I was in Delaware when 9/11 happened. That was even away from us. I wasn't even where ground zero was. But can you imagine you waking up or you just being around and fucking all of a sudden buildings are fucking falling around? The perspective turns different. All of a sudden you start to care about the world and things of that nature. It's easy to talk shit when you're sitting in your cushy ass house and you're able to just fly around the world and do this, that, or the third. It gets different when your ass is in the middle of something that changes your mind or warps your brain real quick because it could have not happened, but these are the people that's actively doing this. You'll learn to stop hating when, shit starts crumbling around your ass. And for some of us, it don't take that. We have compassion. We have empathy. But for a lot of people, they ain't got that. I can guarantee you that the people that is in Flint got empathy for people that ain't got water. I can guarantee you that them people at the Appalachian all of a sudden now is, talking a whole lot different. But what's going to happen when they forget and they start building them communities back again? Are they going to be still out here actively, promoting racism? You still going to do that? Or are you going to realize that they didn't come to save you? Your fellow people was still going to come save you because, racists for some reason, they got a whole like network. And them niggas had planes and trains and automobiles, and they said, "Oh, we'll go get our people." You be racist out this motherfucker. Guess what? You can raise $1 billion in one day. That lady that cussed them people out at that fucking Cinnabon and they fired her ass. GoFundMe went crazy. It's not until something starts to happen and the shit starts shaking, and then all of a sudden you feel some type of way. So sad for us that something would have to take place or something would have to go down or anything like that before anybody realized it, but we could actually have morals and values before that. Like you don't have to be a nasty ass individual and fucking bombs and shit have to fall on your house for you to have good morals and values. Like you could actively see it happen to somebody else and say, "Damn, that's fucked up. We shouldn't be involved in that, especially for nothing. Them people ain't did nothing to us." Mind you, I'm black in America. My own government trying to kill me, like that's a damn shame. But mind you, still wanting to be in control of something. That's strange. Every day you wake up, yeah, and what she say on Color Purple? All my life I had to fight. And you know what they trying to do? They trying to hide the fact that they're doing it. They're trying to hide and cover up history instead of actively fixing their behavior. They rather cover up the history, put the books on the ban list. Well, it would be better for you just not to do that. Why is it better for you to hide what you're doing instead of just not doing it? Y'all, I don't even know what to say about that kind of energy because that's got to be the strangest thing. You're not embarrassed to do it. You're just embarrassed for it to be talked about. Like again, it got to be mentally, like, if there's a therapist or somebody around here, psychologist, like, explain to me that behavior. You're not embarrassed to do it. You're only embarrassed when people talk about you doing it. That's what gets your gallbladder flowing. That's strange. I don't need to control everything to feel secure. I strengthen my ability to adapt. We are resilient. No matter what they try to do, we will survive because God said we will be blessed for forever. Not just in a short period of time, not just while, they're doing whatever they're doing. God said we're going to be blessed for forever. And that's why they mad. From then till now and after that. Why did God bless them? Because God knew y'all was going to be nasty. God knew y'all wasn't going to get it together. Everything that is being done, God already knew y'all was going to do. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Shit got spoken about beforehand. Even when y'all try to take stuff out of the system. Even when y'all tried to hide stuff. So last night, I forgot what I was listening to. I can tell y'all what it is, but I don't really I think something was sticking in my brain because it was talking about how a portion of time was lost. A portion of time got lost, and let me see if I can think of what it was actually talking about. It keeps being, it says something about Rome. Rome, it's the Vatican, the Catholic Church again, because it still was talking about the Catholic Church. And I was in between, sleep and not sleep, I guess. And it was still basically saying again the same exact thing. When stuff was out of place, it was almost like they'd rather cover it up instead of, exposing it to the world. And whatever they was doing, it's the information that they're hiding that is still relevant even to today. And we already know that, but it's sad that in a world that God made so big, so beautiful, so vast, so wide, that there are people who morals and values are to lie, cheat, steal, and deceive. Because there's information that is ancient old information. And what they said was that in Rome they left it up to the scholars. Remember, I told you it's people that, because they needed some people to kind of decipher, but nobody even could still decipher something. But then they're talking about this letter. I gotta go back and listen to what it was, but whatever this letter is, it was supposed to be open to the people that they called the scholars, but then they said somehow it got cataloged and it got hidden even to the scholars. And they said the only reason why they know is because the information that was given, like, there's a track record of it being hidden, but nobody can see it but the people who are in control of whatever, Roman hidden history. But also the other thing was, the other part of what it was saying was that they were actively going through, nations and things of that nature. I need to get another tripod because me and my tape situation ain't happening. They was going through other nations and other cultures, actively stealing and taking stuff because something about Christianity wasn't right. Like something about it. Oh, and this the other thing, because it made me wonder why Christian people don't actively go and look into like the history of Christianity. Um, because the information is there. The information is fully there for y'all to go figure it out and see, but it was talking about like the corruption and things of that nature. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go. What was it? What was I listening to? Let me see. Um, but mind you, this shit is real. Like people actively going and they giving y'all documentation and records for y'all to be able to go look up who did what and when, where it came from. Um, so the what I fell asleep listening to is the banned books of the Vatican. In other news, so it has to be that. Are going to be happy to hear this. Let it just came out. There's a new website where any Georgia
Beneath the streets of Vatican City, 40 feet underground, there are 85 kilometers of shelving. That number is not a metaphor. If every shelf in that archive were laid end to end, they would stretch from Rome to Florence. And on the shelves sit documents, letters, papal decrees, trial records, confessions, maps, and books, some of them over 1,000 years old.
That was one of the things, the confessions. They literally confessed to changing and corrupting the Bible and putting shit in there that wasn't even in there.
Outside a tiny circle of approved scholars has ever been allowed to read. The place is called the Vatican Apostolic Archive. For most of its existence, it was known by a different name. It was called the Vatican Secret Archive.
They changed it from secrets because they didn't want,
from the official
because of the word.
2019. The restricted section.
Oh, did y'all hear what he just said? They changed something in 2019. Do y'all realize 2019, a lot of shit happened, like, and one thing begat the other, and nothing is intentional, nothing is a coincidence.
We continue. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these stories. Write in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is. I always find it discussed, argued over in universities and courts and coffee houses. The index was a response, a defensive move. What came before the index, what had been operating for 400 years before the first printed list appeared, was something far more aggressive, far quieter, and far more effective. It had no official name. It left almost no paper trail, which was precisely the point. When a text was identified as dangerous, not merely theologically incorrect, but specifically dangerous to the institutional authority of the church, it did not get added to a list. It got collected quietly, transported to Rome through channels that were never documented in ways that survived.
And y'all, this is real shit that happened. Like, nobody has to tell y'all. Like, y'all, if y'all look up history, this is what they did. They are holding on to a lot of stuff that is not theirs. Basically, conquering and stealing.
That were themselves later altered. And then it disappeared into 85 kilometers of shelving in a building whose entrance was sealed for centuries and whose contents remain, to this day, only partially known. Consider what that actually means. The Vatican has been accumulating suppressed knowledge for over 1,000 years. It did not destroy.
Mind you, the shit that they have been doing for over 1,000 years is stuff that is 300,000 years old. So even y'all hearing 1,000 years, like, that's like in an hour. They have an hour's worth of stuff for 1,000 years. People have been on this earth for 300,000 or more because there's other stuff. So the shit that they collected is ancient. So let that sink into your brain.
It feared, it kept it. Which raises,
and it's the other part that I don't think people understand, the whole vastness of it. It's like people's brains, and I told y'all that's one of the biggest illusions that they have put on us as a whole. Africa's bigger, even on the map, but it's smaller. They made themselves look bigger than what they are. That's what they're doing to us right now. They're making themselves look bigger than what they actively are. Because 1,000 years is nothing. That is a drop in the fucking bucket. That could technically be like a second. But mind you, what they collected is bigger than your mind can hold.
That should feel uncomfortable the moment it lands. Why does an institution keep what it wants?
Hey, Mike, love you.
Forget.
Did y'all hear what he said? Why does an institution feel like they could keep what they want? Why do they think that they are better than you? Why is it important for them to house it, for them to hold it? Who told them that they were in charge? Did God tell you that they was in charge? Like, this is stuff that you have to really ask yourself. Who told them that they were in charge? Who told them that they were the keepers of your destiny, your future, your free will, your life, your spark, your being. Did you give them permission? Did any of y'all give them permission? Because if you didn't, just know that they feel like they are. They're the reason, they're the ones that's housing it. They're the ones that if something happens, they go get it. Why is it that they feel like they should be in charge? Majestic Grace said, nope, never authorized. Well, guess what? That's your daddy. The same way the rest of these people, like, I know y'all not grasping the severity of none of this. Like, because if people did, like, it would spread like wildfire. They think they're in charge of the earth. They think they hold lease and title to the earth. Who told them that? Did you vote for that? And this is a real thing. Like, I know y'all don't y'all are not gathering what I'm saying. I know it. Because ain't no way in hell that it's all these billions of people on earth and we not realize that these people think they run the earth. Every organization, every government, they think they run the earth. Who told them that? And why is nobody actively realizing God gave us as a collective, as a whole, the earth? And mind you, a short group of people, a very small group of people are holding on to everything and fucking it all up for everybody. Like, why do we not see that? These people went and gathered stuff all through, like, and they're not doing anything good with it. I can tell you not doing anything good with it because if it's only for you and whoever is a scholar, I don't authorize that. If it has anything to do with me, I want it. I want to see it. I want to know it. Now, you don't get to hold or harbor information that is pertinent to me, and I don't say I want it today. Why do y'all feel like they should be holding y'all stuff? Y'all don't even realize some of y'all family lineages and things of that nature, they're holding the key to you're broke. Your family, your lineage is broke because they're holding your shit. If it was supposed to be passed down and they're holding it, you don't want that. But y'all not listening because it's not sinking in. Because y'all think that, oh, well, there's nothing we could do. Da, 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 da. Actively say it out your mouth. The power of life and death is in the tongue. I want my stuff. All of it. If it belongs to me, if it was a part of my lineage, if it was a part of my heritage, and if it will belong to my bloodline, I want it. I don't want it in their possession. Why would I want my stuff, my blessings in their possession? Why would you want that? That's weird that nobody is thinking that. Y'all don't know the half of some of the stuff that is even that they even have in there, and neither do they. All they felt like was it belongs to. It could be something that is going, do this to da 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 da. Whatever it is they put in their mind, because I don't know. Because in my mind, guess what? I don't feel like I should hold on to something that belongs to somebody else. To me, that's stealing. Do you feel like you should have something that belongs to somebody else? Because to you, that's stealing. You see how morals and values and boundaries play a whole big deal here? You're not just going to walk into somebody's house and take something because you know it's not right. You know it don't belong to you. Meanwhile, they walked into your house, they took your shit, and now they're telling you what to do with it. God, please get them. And God, whatever belongs to me and mine, I would like it. If it was supposed to be for me to help me into the afterlife or the future life or this life or any other life, and it was mine, I want it. I don't need you to hold on to my shit. That's like somebody saying they'll hold on to your money like how y'all do your kids. Like, let me hold it. You don't know what to do with it. If somebody gave you $1 billion today that was yours, and then all of a sudden somebody walks into the door and they say, let me hold it because you don't know what to do with it, what would you do? Because that's the equivalent of that. God granted you billions of dollars, and they said, let me hold it because you don't know what to do with it. Mind you, they actively out here starting wars and shit with your stuff. They're actively out here manipulating the system with your stuff. I don't authorize that. I rebuke that. If it belongs to me and mine, my lineage, my heritage, I want it. I want it today. I want it right now. God, please get them and do whatever it is that needs to be necessary in order for me to get it today. Because I don't need you holding nothing of mine in your pocket or you doing something to somebody with something that was ordained or was given to me to be able to take care of, my future, my generation, my, the world or anything else. But y'all don't hear me because ain't nobody saying nothing. I speak with purpose. I move with awareness. I rest without guilt. For a time such as now. Because again, I ain't come to this earth to hurt nobody, and I ain't come to this earth to want nobody to hurt me. But meanwhile, it is entities and people that actively wish for us to be enslaved. And if we don't know any better, then they're going to be able to do it. But I rebuke it. You're not authorized. My free will is just that, my free will. I don't want you over nothing that pertains to me. Get somebody else to do that. I don't want it. I don't want no restrictions on my earthly experience. And I shouldn't have any restrictions on my earthly experience. Why do they think they can control your earthly experience? Why do you think that they should be allowed to control your earthly experience? She said that's war right there. Yes. And they do everything silently, the same way they do everything silently. Their morals, their values, and their boundaries. They don't know personal space. But meanwhile, you're actively letting them do it anyway, so it don't matter.
Exist inside the Vatican archive that have never been released to researchers. Their titles are documented in historical references. Their authors are named in medieval registries. Vatican officials, when asked about them directly, do not deny their existence. They simply say the texts are.
Remember I told you the Jesuits and what they do? The power of life and death is in the tongue. They play on words. So they're not going to deny it because they're not allowed to lie.
Consultation. No timeline is given, no condition is attached. They are simply unavailable. One of those books was written before the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, the meeting at which the Roman Emperor Constantine and a selected group of bishops decided which version of Christianity the world would be allowed to follow.
Which version? And guess what? The Christian people is going to actively act like, oh, well, it's like, I don't understand how a person can sit. And again, I ain't judging. But I just don't understand how a person can sit and realize that this is real. This is what they've been doing. This ain't new. And mind you, just so you know, they literally actively, oh, that's what they were saying. I'm sure he's going to tell us. They actively scoured the world to make sure that all the Bibles got sent to them so they can get rid of them. But guess who didn't follow suit? Ethiopia.
What that book contains, what it said about Christ, about his teachings, about the years of his life that the official Gospels skip entirely, is unknown to every scholar alive today. The silence around it is not accidental.
But they got the book.
About what happens inside that archive is accidental.
Now you see me? Now you don't.
They literally actively have a book.
In 1881, Pope Leo XIII made a gesture that was celebrated as a great act of openness.
Celebrated.
The archive would be accessible to qualified scholars for the first time in its history. The announcement was genuine. Researchers did gain access. Significant documents were studied. But inside the opening announcement, buried in the administrative language that almost no one read closely, was a specific exemption. Certain categories of documents were classified as not subject to the general access provisions. The exemption applied immediately. It has never been lifted. The scholars who entered in 1881 saw a great deal. They also walked past rooms they were not told existed. This is the story of what is in those
Walk
rooms.
past rooms that they were told were told that they existed.
Really banned, but hunted. Why the people who possessed them were, in several documented cases, burned alongside them. It is the story of a pattern that stretches from a massacre in southern France in 1209.
When I tell y'all, listen, go look up the Jesuits. The Jesuits. These people are the ones that did a lot of this.
To a sealed envelope in the Vatican in 1917, to a set of quietly revoked research.
And then the funny part is also this. Y'all don't even realize it's governments acting behind governments. Like the one that we see ain't even it. It's just to create havoc and chaos so that way you wouldn't really actually go look at the real shit that's happening behind the fucking scenes. It's like anything and everything. When you pull the cover off, when the veil gets lifted, and you can just see that we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz, like, and then it's a midget doing shit. But mind you, even still, the shadow go. Yes, I'm trying to tell you, like, this shit ain't right. When you start going to look at stuff, like when it falls down, it's a couple skirts that get lifted up. Like the veil is up, and now you get to see that this person ain't in control, and this person's out here, but this is the person that's gonna create the havoc. But mind you, it's some other shit happening behind the scenes. Like this just the shit they gave us. But meanwhile, these niggas answer to some other niggas.
Such permissions in 2019 that almost no one noticed. Every piece of this connects. Every suppression points back to the same three things the Vatican has spent 1,700 years making certain the world would never.
1,700 years. Meanwhile, the earth is older, way, way older than that. And y'all heard them say they went and sought out, like they went and hunted shit down. So when y'all talking about tomb raiders and things of that nature, and everybody automatically thinks that this was a coincidence. Nah, them niggas was the ones that was doing it. You have to remember, back in ancient Egypt, they got buried with a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, a lot of their shit that they had with them at the time got buried with them. Do y'all think they actively let little random ass tomb raiders go get shit? No. This these niggas. Because I can almost guarantee you anything that was in one of them tombs, they got it. I can almost bet you. Yep, folks behind the folks. That's why the president is a puppet for the shadow government. But mind you, this nigga, he basically is out of pocket. And that's why I love even everything that's happening right now. Because it's one of those things where you put somebody in control, but you don't realize they're a rogue. They're a rogue entity. So it may have looked great, to put that person there because the other person would have been entirely too much able to be controlled. Everything would have been swept underneath the rug, right? Or a little bit harder to control too because this person has to stand on morals, values, and principles. This nigga ain't got none. But mind you, it's something in the brain. It's like God tampering. So like they thought that they could do, whatever they was going to do with this mother sucker, but he's only in position because God allowed it. Y'all ain't never had this much information. You ain't never had this much seeing behind the walls and anything else because of him. And again, I ain't rooting for nobody, but I like the truth. And I know what God loved. God loved the truth. So the truth being, you got to take the good with the bad. And at this point, he probably gonna go down in history. And that's another thing. Like one of the guys was saying, the reason why y'all don't want this nigga, deceased, right? And for all intents purposes, it made a whole lot of sense. You have to allow him to undo himself. If they take him out of here, it leaves him being able to, be martyred, basically. And who wants that being martyred? You have to watch it unravel and undo itself mentally. And so the only way we get change is allowing the system to undo itself. But mind you, again, it's the thing. Remember back in the day, like I grew up in a time where you had to wear slips and underclothes, right? You wasn't just allowed to be out here, naked, because you would be naked if you didn't have on a if you have on a dress, you have to have on a slip. Otherwise your ass is naked. And so the elders would say, like, when you would go places and this, that, and the third, because sometimes your slip would show. And they would say, your slip is showing. But mind you, it was also like a metaphor for, like you're being shown, you're being exposed. So it's one of those things. It's exposure that happens and goes along with some of this stuff when, so it's like exposure. You can't, you have to just step back and let things just unfold the way that they're unfolding. But the only reason why they got seen is because he got seen. You see what I'm saying? So even now, even in the government, when everything is happening, even that shit that just happened a couple days ago, nobody is saying all that happened. A lot of people are saying, what do they want me to look at now? Like, what's the distraction? People are starting to realize that when shit happens, it's not a, all let's, rally around. It is, what's the distraction? You're doing this. What's the distraction? We're having last night or whatever night it was, night before last night, the Met Gala, right? It's bombs dropping on bitches, right? But they want to show you the Met Gala, right? And so the thing that I noticed, even in the Met Gala and the dresses and things of that nature, because everything coexists, nothing is a coincidence, right? If y'all looked at the theme behind the Met Gala, it was given gods, titans, like the energy of the dresses and everything else was giving goddess, like for the females. For the guys, I don't know. I ain't see too many guys other than, I don't know. But the ladies set the standard and it was giving goddess, empress. It was like even, the crowns and things of that nature. But you have to be mindful, because if people wasn't going places and then all of a sudden now they're there, what are they distracting you from? So you over here watching this, meanwhile these niggas is behind the scenes doing the bullshit. Cause ain't no way you out here, like, in my mind, and I ain't saying nothing because they do what the hell they want to do. But in my mind, I feel like when there's certain like themes and it's something, Met Gala happens every year, da 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 da. But meanwhile, we're actively in the middle of, what they deem as a war or something of that nature. So to me, it would be like using your platform to bring some light and shedding some light on a situation, not being a distraction to, the people. But meanwhile, what people don't realize is just because something is happening here, the real strings are being pulled in other countries, because you have to remember how a lot of these people got here. Like, I ain't been, y'all can go look up the stuff. This is conquered. We're continually talking about the Game of Thrones. It is moving around pieces, land masses, this, that, and the third. The same shit they doing here. They just doing it on a smaller scale, so that way y'all don't, think, oh well, what was the dude's name in Game of Thrones? We had the Iron Throne. We had, which would be who? Russia. What was the other ones? Whatever the names are or whatever, but you have to think, because at one point in time it was, different stuff. It would have been Tartaria or whatever, names that they trying to change. So when they start doing bullshit, all of a sudden it's like giving yourself a new name. So if you fuck something up, like the man that they was talking about, oh, when AI translated this, that, and third, they never wanted to tell us what this man said. But all of a sudden, you put AI, you put the translation in AI, and now it don't make sense that this person was saying this. Why would this person have been saying this and doing this? But he was also trying to warn, the black people that this was happening and da 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 da. Meanwhile, if you look at who over there, again, kill, steal, and destroy. People be clapping for the wrong thing, but meanwhile, it could also be showing you, like, your favorite grandmother is also the ones who hid the pedophiles. So your grandma wasn't a good person. I know you don't like that because, your grandmother is your grandmother and you have to respect your grandmother for raising you. But at the end of the day, your grandmother was a bot that was able to be controlled. Because why did they protect Uncle da 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 da, knowing he was molesting the kids? Why is there a whole, thing happening right now where y'all talking about Michael Jackson and this, that, and the third, whoever went and seen it, and Ali seen it, a couple of people saying, oh, well, it was him versus this. Meanwhile, now there's other people in the family supposedly coming out, and there's one auntie that I seen. They knew that this nigga was doing that. So why did y'all protect them? Well, because in the community, y'all are police. You have to remember that racism also plays a big part. So of course you didn't want them going into the system of jail, but that helped you now protect the predator. You see what I'm saying? So one thing is kind of fucked up, because if we put them into the system with, and this is the reason why I keep saying that if you want to be white, that's great, but you shouldn't be allowed to be in control of colored people, because now you're perpetuating shit that is in our system, that because we can't send them to your system. But shit got to be dealt with. But even in the Bible, it says if you have an alt with your brother, take it to your brother. Don't go to court. It say that. And so these things keep coming around. But mind you, again, your Bible came from old. They took old stuff from 200, 300, 400,000 years, whatever the earth is, and the people that have already been here. And then they try to lie and they try to give you a horse and buggy. But if you look at the walls on the fucking pyramids, it ain't no horse and buggy. It's technology. Meanwhile, they were creating meetings to tell y'all what y'all was going to get.
Never be able to prove.
But you're going to say, I'm blasphemous. But you don't realize your whole entire book is blasphemous.
What those three things are, and why they are still being protected today, is what the next 2 hours are going to answer. But first, understand the scale of what is being protected.
Oh yeah, Game of Thrones was actually really good. Like, but mind you, this is the thing. Like, this is the new age. I can't. Y'all know I've been saying this for a very long time. Y'all just got better clothes. It's still the same exact shit. Taxes were being paid. They were still taken from the people. They was like doing a bunch of weird shit. But this is still the Game of Thrones. Like, literally. Land mass, they're moving around, just like y'all heard the lady when she said they moving around things in Louisiana. It's majority of black people live there, but meanwhile they're trying to move lines this and the third. Who controls what? That's what the Game of Thrones is. Whoever has the most land, whoever had, like, that's the one that rules. That's the one that rules the kingdom. Like, I don't know what type of spell that was put over top of the people. And at this point, there's nothing I can do other than continue to keep telling y'all, look at the sizes of things. The illusion is the size of things. Look at the numbers. Ain't no way they'll give you the number of the land mass, and Africa is bigger than all of these people. These places. You can stick Russia and Africa along with other countries. They all fit inside of Africa. But mind you, they made Africa small. Why? To fuck with your mind. They want you to think small. The man said, think big, bitch. Think big. But y'all thinking small, because it's like how they have it. The concept of numbers don't match to anybody, or space don't match to nobody. Even when you hear people regurgitating out of their mouth 1%, the top 1%. You mean to tell me it's billions and trillions of people on this earth, but y'all are literally, everybody is being controlled by 1%. That means there's 999, like, the numbers don't match. Mind you, because they're treacherous. So when they come, they do some real foul, weird shit to people. And so, guess what? In the Game of Thrones, somebody's gonna get fucked up. This is why they organize. This is why you volunteer. Like, I ain't gonna put y'all all in, the army, or on the front line. But how many of y'all don't like it here? How many of y'all want to actively, give yourself to something that's greater than yourself? You know how many people going to stick their hands up? And all those people, this is what I need y'all to do. Organize it. Get it together. And I ain't saying that, but I'm just telling y'all, like, it's like the art of war. But everybody want to be chiefs, and it's not enough Indians, but y'all out here doing real random ass weird shit. But if you really wanted to create something and really wanted to do it, it would be on a mass scale, worldwide. This was going to happen. But y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all going to let everybody get picked off one by one by one by one, because they hear us talking. They know that we not for this shit. But instead of y'all coming together to figure out, I just already told y'all the world went to shit by mass production. This is how they get away with stuff. But meanwhile, they're also telling you Spirit Airlines went down. The government wants to use Spirit Airlines. They try to offer them a deal to tell them that they would bail them out. But they wanted to use, they wanted 90% of their stocks, whatever the man said, and they also wanted to be able to use the planes because they can't manufacture planes at a fast rate. But I thought that what is it? What's the place? Military place, because I went there many a times. What's the military place that manufactures the plane that does the army stuff? Something Lockheed Martin. I thought that Lockheed Martin was able to produce those. Lockheed Martin not producing anymore. Why would that be a thing? So whatever it is, they said the minerals that they would need. Either way, they need these planes to be actively ready. Apparently, there isn't enough of them, right? Okay, so we have a fracture there. If y'all talking about mass production, figure out how to stop that. Like to me, it don't seem like it's a lot that would. Like, and I ain't no general in the military or none of that. I ain't no person that's trying to go against nobody or any of that. All I'm saying is it don't take much to figure this shit the fuck out. Like, why are y'all doing certain different things instead of doing the thing that would, you know, um, what's his name when everybody was talking about the dude, the one that got them CEOs of the people. If y'all actively know that these people are out here messing up the weather, doing this, that, and the third, because they said that something happened with the people in they when they knocked down their satellites, all of a sudden it started raining there. They have been in droughts and all this other extra shit for a very long time. All of a sudden, when they knocked the satellites and shit out of the sky, all of a sudden now it's raining. Now things are coming to being fruitful and this that, that. Like again, I'm a regular ass person, but if I can look at what happened and how it happened and why these people got a jump. Also, the fact of the matter is this: these people don't have no way to manufacture. How are they getting it? Clearly, they're getting it from us, and so that would also mean that if we didn't have it to give, it wouldn't exist. Start with the major things. It don't it again it makes sense to me, but take accountability. I take accountability for my life without carrying unnecessary shame. I am not behind. I am not late. I am responding to life at my own pace. I see through illusions, but I don't let that harden my heart because I'm still a loving individual. That's why I said, like, at the end of the day, I see what these people are doing, but I don't harbor no hate for them because they're only allowed to do what God is allowing them to do. And when I ask God to uncover the truth, I can't tell God how to do it. So at this point, whatever is being done for everybody's highest good. And it's going to be what it's going to be. It was what it was. It is what it is. And it's going to be what it's going to be. And sometimes people think they winning, but the whole entire time it's like a sinking ship. It's going down. I am learning when to act, when to wait, and when to walk away. It's like one of those things where collectively we have to know that we are better than whatever this is. Morals, values are important. You just shouldn't be out here being a nasty ass individual, a good for nothing ass individual. Like seeing somebody else's pain and hurt and having compassion and empathy for it is a real human trait. And if you don't have compassion for somebody else's pain or for somebody else's hurt or somebody, or empathy for that, are you a real human being? If you could see something happen to somebody and not feel some type of way to not want that to happen, to want the injustice in the world to stop, are you a real human being? Because if it's okay, if it's them, and as long as it's not you, you are a part of the problem. And that's a real fact. If you can't see that nobody's child should wake up to rubble and rubbish or not to good drinking water or not be able to eat, you're not a good person. You're not a human being. You're actively actually one of them, because it's okay as long as it's not you. But y'all gonna be the same MFers that when it does happen to you, you're gonna be on crying. All of a sudden, it's gonna be different. It's gonna hit different. When storms and shit like that come and y'all, the houses and shit get turned over, y'all be out here crying, because I done seen a lot of that shit happen. But all of this shit is the same. It's repercussions of everything else. Like nothing is a coincidence. I done seen people, houses get turned over, tornadoes. It's more storms than have ever been. And all of a sudden, them same people be online crying, oh, the houses, this, and we ain't got it. But bitch, you're a nasty individual. Last week you was just happy because you was able to do this, that, and the third for your family. But now your whole everything is done turned to rubbish, and now you want some help. Now you want people to be compassionate because you lost everything. We've been out here losing everything our whole entire lives and having to figure out how to get it right back. But as long as it wasn't happening to you, you were fine. And I told y'all, the people that shit like that happen to, we be resilient. We'll figure out. We bounce right back. We know that just not having nothing is not the end of the world. We can get it right back. But people who have been used to and benefiting from this system, when shit starts happening to them, guess what? They start jumping off bridges and things of that nature. They can't take it. They don't know how to live without, the cushiness of their benefits. Y'all are part of the problem. And I know y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all never going to listen to that, but just think about it. Think about the people who are well off to do, and as soon as shit starts shaking, the market tumbles, and all of a sudden they done lost billions and trillions of dollars. Them people don't last long. Them people be so embarrassed by the fact that they done got everything taken. Like, they rather not be here. They rather go to hell. Because they know that's where they going. The minute they jumping off bridges and shit like that, they know they going to hell. They'd rather go to hell than be broke. That should tell you something. Morals and values ain't in it. I can't let nobody see me hit rock bottom because this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, guess what? We be learning to live like that because the little lady just said they have been trying to fire, take away. We could be some of the smartest, most productive people under the sun, but because we're melanated and we have something they don't have, they don't care. They rather us be killed, destroyed, away from here. But meanwhile, not realizing they are the thing that's making us resilient. The fact that you're disgusted, the fact that you're upset, the fact that when you wake up, mind you, again, you done made us God in your system. Because anything that you wake up every day and you obsess for, you have made a God. We love that for y'all and us. Thank you. But the better part would be, God, please get them. Because they trying to turn us into something that we're not. It's like one of those things, like when I told you about Job. And they said that was a allegory, right? They made it up because they wanted to see the resilience. But mind y'all done turned that. That's one of the things that people can hold on to. They will steal your wealth. They will steal your children. They will steal everything. You can take everything from them, but their life. And will they still praise God? Mind you, we still been out here praising God. They done try to tar and feather a bitch. They done try to pull fucking arms and legs off people to make an example. They done try to do this, that, and the third. But we also know that for every one that you take, bitch, we gonna triple that times 10 on God. Because God gonna make sure. Why we can't take their resilience? Why we can't break their spirit? Why we can't? Because it's not yours to give. You didn't make us, you can't break us. Not easily broken. We will always be not easily broken. It don't matter. You can kill, steal, and destroy. You try to take generations. You didn't try to destroy our history, and we still out here thriving. Not only that, going excelling. That's the other part, excelling. And you're mad at that. How do they keep excelling? We keep trying to, do this to them and do that to them. They not even out here caring. Oh, they got to be dumb because they're not even paying attention to the fact that we just know that you're always going to be that. And that's sad. We feel bad for you. We feel bad that this is how you have grown up to be. You don't know how to get nothing out of the mud. You'll never be a lotus. I am learning when to act, when to wait, when to walk away. I don't need constant clarity to move forward. I need commitment to myself. You can't tell me what to think of me. I don't care what you think of me. I know what I am. Blessed from then till now and after that. Will never be God. You can never create a God. I know that God existed before you existed. I know that God will always make sure that anything and everything you do is undone. I will never serve the God that you're trying to give me. I will never serve the God that you're trying to be. God existed before you showed up, and God will always remain God. And on that note, God said we will be blessed forever. Not just as long as they're trying to give it. They want us to feel like, or they want us to think that they're in control of our blessings. You never were. You never will be. I respect boundaries, my boundaries, enough to enforce them, even when it's uncomfortable. You're not authorized. My free will is a thing. And whether or not you try to advance and whether or not you try to make it uncomfortable, it's still my free will, and you're never going to be authorized. And anything and everything that you took, anything and everything that you touch, anything and everything that is not yours and you try to steal, we want it back. I'm building a life that reflects who I truly am, not who I was conditioned to be. And whether or not y'all realize it or not, from the time you came into this system, from the time you had a baby, from the time your mother pushed her out of your hoo-ha, they have been conditioning you. Go to sleep at this time. Baby shouldn't be woke at this time. Or you have to be woke when the baby is woke. Or you have to feed the baby on a schedule. The baby has to go to school. They sent your kids to schools that their kids don't even go to. They gave your baby, shots and things of that nature their kids don't get. They're teaching your kids stuff that they definitely is not teaching their kids. They're teaching their kids the truth. Meanwhile, they're conditioning our kids to be slaves. Stop conditioning your kids to be slaves. Start homeschooling, doing with the things that you need to do for yourself. But mind you, again, the kids are not going to school because they don't want the kids in school. But guess what? Black people, here we are again. They kicked your ass out of this, that, and third. Create our own school. We are the ones that fucking come up with all types of inventions and everything else anyway. So start creating the schools that your kids can go to in your own neighborhoods and things of that nature. Doctors and lawyers, if you went to school and they trying to do whatever, like, figure out a way for us to be able to go to the doctors that look like us. Why? Because they want to cut parts out of our bodies and this, that, and third. They want to make it so that we don't know about nature, natural healing and things of that nature. They want to send us to jail for that. Mind you, that's what God gave us. There's a book that I told y'all that is supposedly existed in the world. And if Solomon had it, or if it came later on, but they tell you stories about it, it could be a wise tale, it could be a fable, it could be whatever. But I'm almost promising you that these people that they're talking about right now have the book, because at this point, why are they the only people that are allowed to be able to go around and do exorcisms? That means they would have the book. They telling you that the book don't exist, but the book clearly has to exist. How did you know how to do exorcism? From a book that existed.
The Vatican Archive contains the original transcript of the trial of Galileo. Every word, every accusation, every moment of a man being forced to deny what he had seen with his own eyes. It contains letters from Henry VIII to Anne Boleyn. It contains correspondence between popes and emperors, cardinals, kings, assassins, and saints. It contains the record of Michelangelo's contracts for the Sistine Chapel's ceiling. These documents are known. These documents have been studied. What has not been studied, what sits in those sealed sections, logged under categories that researchers are not permitted to search, is something that the institution that built the most powerful religious organization in human history decided was worth more hidden than revealed.
The other thing, I have to tell y'all people, and this is another thing. Whatever happens next, do not destroy anything that is historical. I repeat, whatever happens next, do not, and tell your people, relay the messages, do not destroy anything that is historical. Documentation, paperwork, any of that. And I'm going to tell you why. They convinced a group of people, and y'all notice the first thing that it'll be a fire, which they had already started doing it, because last month some courthouses in Georgia went up in smoke. So they're already trying to do it. So what ended up happening was they convinced a group of people, because the people was in an uprising and doing a revolution and this, that, and the third. They convinced these people to go and burn down some shit, and this is how they actively disappeared a whole section of history. But they blamed the people that they gaslit into doing it. So it was intentional, but they had a reason. And remember when I told you it's distractions, and it'd be like somebody throwing rocks and hiding their hands. They pointed people into direction, like, oh, go do this. But meanwhile, so they didn't have to say it. But then that also allowed for them to create the history that they wanted, because now the documentation doesn't exist. The same exact way those courthouse documents and everything is missing. And now they can go say, oh, we don't have no title for this or no paperwork for that. And if you don't have it yourself, guess the fuck what? Oh, we own that shit.
Not made once in a single moment of panic. Over again by different men in different centuries, each one inheriting the silence from the one before him and deliberately choosing, to pass it forward. The first question is not what is inside those books. The first question is simpler and darker than that. Who decided you weren't allowed to know?
Who decided you wasn't allowed to know? Them. Who decided that, what you were reading was for you? Who decided what God told you was what God said? They did. And they're still deciding. And then you want to be mad at me for saying something, because I'm telling you that this is a real actual thing. It don't matter who's narrating. Everybody knows it to be true. They're holding all the keys and all the cards because they went to pillage, kill, steal, destroy, bringing stuff from this place, that place. Why y'all can't just go freely explore the world when things be of the world to explore? Like, all you got to do is start asking the proper questions. And who told them that they own the earth?
The story the Vatican tells about itself is, on its surface, entirely reasonable. It goes like this. The Church, as the guardian of Christian faith, had a responsibility to protect its followers from ideas that could lead them towards spiritual error. The Index Librorum Prohibitorum was a tool of pastoral care, not censorship. The archive exists to preserve history, not to hide it. And the restricted sections, the parts scholars cannot access, are restricted simply because the documents are too fragile, too sensitive in diplomatic terms, or still subject to the privacy protections that govern records.
Ain't that nice? And they decided that. And if that was the case, right, then that means that whoever is able to go down there, that means that you should be teaching school on a daily basis publicly. And God, look at God, the internet exists. And so that way everybody would still know. But you're not doing that. You're only making it so your group of people know what's happening. So I can't respect that answer. That's a fucking lie.
Involving living institutions. This explanation has been repeated so consistently across so many official statements that it has the texture of obvious truth. Pull at one thread and the whole surface shifts. The Index was introduced in 1559 under Pope Paul IV, a man whose hatred of anything he considered deviant was so consuming that he also revived the Roman Inquisition, constructed the first Jewish ghetto in Rome, and had the faces of figures.
And ain't that funny how, if y'all go look up what ghetto is, it came from the Jewish people that basically hate us. And then they try to pass the shit down because, again, there's a thing called destiny swapping. Oh, you didn't know Majestic Grace? Yeah, that's them. So they want to sit their ass in your seat. So they want to give you their bullshit, and they want you to think that they're you.
Michelangelo's lobsters painted over because their nakedness offended him. Paul IV did not create the Index as a gentle pastoral guide. He created it as a weapon. The first edition found not just heretical texts, but the entire output of 61 named authors, meaning everything those writers had ever written or would ever write was forbidden, regardless of subject matter. A condemned author's grocery list would have been technically prohibited under the original Index. That detail never makes it into the official explanation. The Church's approved narrative about banned books focuses almost entirely on the theological dimension. Dangerous ideas about the nature of God, the structure of the universe, the mechanics of salvation, and those cases are real. Galileo's dialogue concerning the two chief world systems was placed on the Index in 1633. The same year he was forced to his knees before a church tribunal and made to recant what his telescope had shown him to be true.
They out here telling people the recant. But mind you, if you go look up the history even of them, they done killed more people than, because if you don't believe what they believe. So technically they're forcing themselves, they want to be God. They think they're smarter than God. People have died for less, B. I am building a life that reflects who I truly am, not who I was conditioned to be. I allow myself to be both a work in progress and a powerful force at the same time. Again, who's the narrative? Who's narrating your story? Are you narrating your story, or are you allowing them to narrate your story? You're gonna go into anything, any area of spiritual, life, talking to God, and just imagine God saying, "Who told you to do that?" And you saying, "Well, I took this book that they said was important," and God saying, "Well, you didn't hear anything in it that sounded like morals and values or corruption." Because I'll be hearing it all the time. Every time you turn around, it's something in there that is, I wanted to know him. And again, I ain't judging nobody or nothing, but how you got one of the most holiest books of all time, and every time you turn around, there's some gay shit happening. I'm gonna have to start questioning, people and folks and narratives. Like, what type of narrative are you trying to push? What are you trying to impart subconsciously into people's mind? And then you want to get mad at the fact that people, evolved into, exactly what you've been teaching them this whole entire time. It's like, again, one of those things. They want you to be something, but they don't want you to talk about it. They want to do violence and shit like that, but they don't want you to talk about it. Not that they want to not do the violence or stop doing the stuff that they're doing, they just don't want you to talk about it. So they want to be able to do the bullshit, just you don't know it, don't be aware of it, don't talk about it. That right there is against the rules for me, because if you're big enough to do it, you should be big enough to talk about it. Religion was perverted by man. I mean, damn right. But it's people that still sit in, under the guidelines of, and they'll say, oh well, it's blasphemous. It's blasphemous for you to sit under a building or in a building or under a person or under a man and you not know that God was God before that. For you to be able to see that this man is corrupt and you to continue to live your daily life back in this person. I told y'all multiple times, y'all can see it everywhere. It's been everybody being exposed right now, and people will say, this pastor touched me when I was da 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 da, and this, that, and the third, and they will rally around the head of the church and not the people who got molested. Our government actively right now has 1,000,000,006 files that have been released. It's telling you that who's a pedophile, who's not. It's judges, it's this, that, and the third. All of these people are corrupt. Ain't nobody saying nothing about these people being expelled from the government. But mind you, these niggas is actively still trying to make more and more laws to get other people locked the fuck up. So it's a set of laws for them. Y'all can actively see it. It's a set of laws for them and a set of laws for you. We can't be under the same laws, because I don't want to be under the laws that allow you to sit in position and continue to kill, steal, destroy, pillage, rape, and everything else, and then it be okay. Literally yesterday, I seen a thing that they said this man's head of security, the person that's up there, head of security, just got arrested for and fucking exposing themselves to a lady where they were, right? And I said, it makes sense. The nigga said grab him in the pussy. Like, I don't understand why y'all be shocked when these niggas be doing shit. Like, in order, if it's wrong, you have to make it wrong across the board. You have to make it wrong across the board. It can't be right for these niggas to do. And then y'all out here, lobbying and pillaging, lobbying and crying that, oh, this is the way they treat women. Well, somehow we have to make it so all across the board, you can't be grabbing them in the pussy. But this nigga said that, and we're still here today. And again, I ain't got nothing to say about nothing, because everybody's doing whatever the hell they doing. Everybody's supporting. Everybody's clapping for whoever they clapping for. But you're not gonna tell me you a good ass person and you don't know that grabbing by the pussy is molestation. That's rape. It's also like they're out here, when you start being a threat to society, they either get you going up out of here. So now I gotta sit on, line and say, oh, I love my life. I want to be able to be out here loving a nigga, this, that, and the third. But guess what? I could also be, get very big. Because the people were talking about how, how we thought it was funny. Your CIA representative, the person that they send in, the FBI, and a person that comes in to make sure that you're not a threat, you're a handler. They send somebody in to, be your lover friend. That's rape. They came in under the guise of trying to investigate this, that, and the third. Don't y'all feel like that's a violation? Because it was never real. It was never genuine. It's a violation. It should be rape. But, the Jesuits figure out how to manipulate the system, kill, steal, destroy, get your ass going. Oh, they just got in a car accident. It was not a car accident. It was a targeted killing. Oh, they got the whatever virus. It wasn't just they came across that virus. It literally got released into society to get rid of people. Oh, it just happened that this happened. Da, 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 da. It wasn't a coincidence. It was to keep everybody in so they could do whatever the fuck they was outside doing. Because ain't nobody stopped going to work. When all that shit happened, guess what I was doing? Outside, actively driving around. I was in trucking at the time. Guess what didn't stop? Construction. They was building houses faster than a motherfucker. And I kept saying, who the hell's about to live here? And why is these areas going up so quickly? Mind you, we're outside every day taking shit to people. Mind you, y'all in the house, and I'm actively watching this shit happen. And now we figured out that, we'd have been bought out and bought and sold. But mind you, ain't nobody saying nothing. It will be treasonous for you to talk about something and say certain things. But meanwhile, this nigga is committing treason in front of everybody's face. But I'm not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to talk about it. God, please get them. like today quickly, because whatever they're doing, I don't like it, and it don't seem like, it's the perfect example to be set. But morals and values are important, and everybody has to display their own morals and values. And so that could be the thing, because remember, we're in judgment day. We're in judgment time right now. And I know y'all think judgment time is going to be different, but as of now, everybody's only being allowed to do what they're fucking doing because we're in judgment time and you're being judged. And if you don't end up in trouble here, you're going to end up in trouble over there, and over there is worse than over here. And a lot of people are doing shit for the likes, like, oh, I can do this behind the scenes. Nobody's going to know. God knows. Having morals and values is important, especially good ones. Having a lack thereof is going to get you your ass, but maybe they don't believe in that. Maybe that could be also one of the things. Like, let me give them this, but I have a healthy fear of God. And I don't want to be out here doing no weird ass shit to nobody. I don't like that. I feel like do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if you out here doing weird shit, then you wonder why weird shit happens. I don't want to do that. Rules for thee, but not for me, period. That is exactly what it is. I've been saying that when people left, I got right. But I like the rules of these, but not for me. And that's the way it is. Like, that's what they do. Rose Neil, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. Flame Your Love Space, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. I am aware of my influence on myself, my environment, and others, and I use it responsibly. I have a healthy fear of God. I'm aware of my influence. I'm aware of my behavior. I'm aware of my environment, and I do realize that if I go out here fucking up Mother Nature, I'm not just fucking it up for me, I'm fucking it up for everybody else that's involved. I don't want to have that on my record. But some people don't give a darn. All they worried about is the money that they can get now for, whatever the environment is. And I don't know why people in other parts of the world are not worried about it, because guess what? If it affects one, it affects all. We are collective here. So if we're out here damaging the earth, so it's damaging it for you. And people don't care until all of a sudden, I told y'all what my dream was. We were at the beach. The water was right at the buildings. Like, just imagine you having this much space in between where the stores are on the ocean and this. And then all of a sudden, now the water and the waves is right up to the stores where y'all shop at. It's people out there just actively walking around. But mind you, there's ice there. We got on shorts, we got on sneakers, shoes, everything else, but there's ice actively in the water. Something's not right. The climate is changing. But that could be, even in the system, like the way you treat people, that's changing. The way people are allowing you to treat them could potentially be changing. There's a transition, is technically what that boils down to. I choose growth over ego, truth over comfort, and peace over chaos. Because don't nobody want to argue with y'all. Like, the world is a beautiful place. Like, I don't want to be in uproar and trying to be out here fighting nobody. This, like, I don't want to do that. I want to go see waterfalls. I want to go see beaches. I want to go hang out with some people that I ain't met yet that are like minded like me and do some fun shit. I don't want to have to be having discussions about people who actively out here being nasties and trying to set the world back to fucking slavery. That ain't what the world was. The reset is to go back before, when God ruled the earth, and God only. And everything is great and everything is beautiful and it smelled like, honeysuckles. Because when I was a kid, the world smelled like, when summer came, it smelled like fucking honeysuckle. I ain't smelled that smell in forever and a day. Do honeysuckles even exist? Do y'all got honeysuckles on this timeline? And I remember they used to try to put it right under here. I forgot what it meant, but they would put the honeysuckle underneath your chin and see if it would stick or something. Y'all remember that? Or that didn't happen to y'all? Because it happened to me. I know the weather isn't right for May. It's just too cold out here. The weather ain't right, period. The weather not is good because for some reason, then when it's warm, there's still an undercurrent. But I've been trying to tell y'all that since what 2020 fucking 3. It's warm, but there's an undercurrent of cold, like Arctic, and it's weird. Right, my friend spoke about this yesterday. That's what it used to smell like. Like it literally used to smell like honeysuckles outside when summertime. Like there was a smell that came with summer. I ain't smelled that in forever and a day. Do summer even have a good smell anymore? Or all of it just smell like shit? Anyway, dear God, may we come back to ourselves fully, honestly, without illusion. May we have the courage to face truth, even when it challenges what we want to believe. Guide us to move with wisdom, not just emotion, with clarity, not just reaction. Help us recognize what drains us, what distracts us, and what truly nourishes our spirit. Strengthen our discernment so we're not easily misled by fear, by noise, or by false promises. May we release what no longer aligns, even when it's familiar. Teach us to respond instead of react, to listen instead of assume, to grow instead of repeat. Protect our peace, but also expand our perspective. Keep us grounded in reality while still open to purpose and possibilities. May we take responsibility for our lives without losing compassion for ourselves. Remind us that healing is not perfection, it's awareness, choice, and consistency. Help us build, not just dream, act, not just speak, become, not just wish. And as we evolve individually, may we move in ways that uplift, not divide the collective. I mean, not like it used to. Summer used to have like a sweet smell. Yes, that's how the honeysuckle smell. I haven't even seen any lightning bugs either. I ain't seen a lightning bug. That's the other thing. Like at nighttime in the summertime, y'all, summer always had the best feeling to me. And I don't know if y'all can remember, like, even as a child running around and catching lightning bugs and shit like that. Like, I don't know, how many people did that, how many people didn't. But that's stuff that I used to be able to do. So I love that. He said, or fireflies. If that's what you call them. Yep, that's what you call lightning bugs, fireflies, that's the same. Lady G high. And it's going to be in the 90s where I'm at. Me either. Mike, that is it. That is so weird. They would be out by now. I'm trying to tell you. She said yes, right, Majestic. They would be everywhere. I'm trying to tell you. Now you guys fucking flies and mosquitoes, the shit that gets on everybody's nerves. So that ain't right. Either way, y'all, that's the message. Hopefully it helped. Thank you guys for being here. Like, comment, share, all that good shit, all that good jazz. So just know, not everything that feels intense is meant for you to follow. Not everything that's familiar is meant to be kept. There's a strong pull right now to react, prove, explain, and chase clarity from outside sources. But the real shift is happening when you pause and observe instead of immediately acting. Notice your patterns without judging them. Take responsibility without turning it to self blame, and stop outsourcing your decisions to noise, trends, or other people's opinion. Some of you are holding on to things because they're comfortable, not because they're right. Others are rushing towards, rushing forward without fully understanding what they're stepping into. You don't need to rush. You don't need to rush your growth. You don't need to force your purpose or convince anyone who you are. What's for you will align through consistency, clarity, and grounded action, not urgency or pressure. So your boundaries are important. Know that. Awareness is important. Know that. Discipline over temporary movement is important. Know that. Truth over comfort is more important. And you're not being asked to become someone new. You're being asked to stop abandoning yourself to maintain what no longer fits. That's the message. Hopefully it helped. Thank you guys for being here. If you'd like to help my channel, like, comment, share, subscribe. Always go with God. If you like to help my channel or me, links in the bio to my GoFundMe and also to my Cash App. Super stickers, superstars, everything is definitely welcome and does help my channel. Past that, you have the day that you deserve, and so will I. And always go with God. Majestic Grace, Mike, love you. Lady G, thank you for being here. Rose Neal, thank you for being here. Lady G, is that everybody? Let me see. Y'all, and just know that we have a beautiful life. That don't let nobody even try to convince us as anything different, because we do. And anything that they try to do to, abandon or anything else, like, we have a spirit of resilience. And again, be mindful that we will always be blessed. Spendy, Boa, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here today. Gaze, love you and thank you for being here. Let's see. I think that's everybody. Yep. All right, that's everybody. Anyway, y'all, again, have the day you deserve, and like, comment, share. Go with God.